Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'm Jackson McKenzie,
And as always, I am Duhad.
and we're bringing you Game 2 of Miro vs. Colawlsus Series 2, the rematch series. Let's go ahead and jump right back into the game. This one's going to be on bel'shir Vestige, one of my favorite maps. I was sorry to see it leave the WCS map pool.
I still, here we go.
Yep.
Round 2 of the Vengeance trilogy.
Alright, spawning in the upper left-hand corner of bel'shir Vestige, playing for Team Skunk. Member of the Starcraft Forum League, it is Miro.
And down on the right-hand side, in the stylish green, we have Colawlsus playing Protoss.
Playing, it should be noted, for Team Incredibles
Yes.
in this league. This is a best of 3 series, of course. Quite a long first game. If you haven't seen it yet, we'll not spoil it for you.
Only to say that it is epic and you should be watching it.
Yes. In fact, what are you doing? Close this now and go watch it. Well, wait. It's all right.
I'm actually kind of curious the type of person who would watch the second game of the series and then be annoyed at the spoilers about who won the first game.
Yeah, so screw it. Okay, everybody back now? Okay. Spoilers are now kosher.
Colossus pulled out a particularly nasty series of engagements in the last one, with a very large Zealot and Templar build. So I'm kind of curious to see if he actually goes with that again or decides to switch up the strategy. Now,
I mean, I don't think we've seen any games from him that didn't involve that strategy.
True. Once again, immediately goes for a nice little wall. Completely aware that Miro is going to pull out a Reaper as soon as he's set that thing up.
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what Miro decides to do with this. Miro, played a good game last time, but that was not a decisive. That was a fairly decisive loss.
Yeah, Miro seemed to be hanging on pretty much by his fingernails for most of that game.
So we'll see if you learn from his mistakes and is going to turn this around and give us some crazy new strategy, or
Preferably involving ghosts.
Who knows? Or if he's hoping that he can make those engagements just a bit more economic this time.
Yeah. I mean, if he can, successfully pull his units back out after those drops, and preserve those little tiny striking forces. If he can do that 3 or 4 times, that adds up to a pretty big army.
So
Reaper comes out for Miro.
Very effectively cuts off the scouting of Colossus. Though Colossus saves his probe, which I'm surprised. Reaper chasing down a probe, the probe usually does not make it away.
Well, Colawlsus sort of ducked into cover there.
Yeah. Poor little probe continues hiding away, shuddering.
Quivering in fear. Are you going to castigate Colawlsus about that idle probe?
I think I'll let that one slide. Poor deer's had quite a fright.
Miro gets a full scout.
Yep, Colossus playing completely blind right now. Going to check to see if Miro has a third up yet. No, might proxy pylon.
Could be, and the probe just sits there. I wonder what he's saving that for.
It's not for resources because he's fine on those.
Miro brings the Reaper back home, or rather brings back to the watchtower.
Okay, so this time, Colossus is definitely throwing down a Nexus before the Terran second command center. Strategy worked for him last time.
Miro was unable to punish it last time. Let's see if he can do something this time. We got Widow Mine coming out for Miro. I was surprised not to see any Widow Mines out of him last game. Given the recent Widow Mine buff against Protoss. Miro coming.
Was it given a shield boost?
Yeah, yeah, the splash damage is now doubled against shields.
Ah, yeah, that is that is significant.
You're
Reaper
coming
gets a
back in here
second
with this
scout.
Reaper, probably looking mostly for pylon timings.
Yep. Nobody's gonna see anything all that interesting here.
Yeah, yeah, he's pretty much what he expects.
Still, he does not lose a Reaper for that oh so valuable information, so cannot complain.
Colawlsus still just kind of sitting there with that probe up at the top, not building a proxy pylon, not really doing anything with it.
Interestingly, goes straight for a Stalker this time rather than his previous Mass Zealot.
Well,
right out the gate.
we have seen him usually build a single defensive Stalker early in the game.
Not last game though. Last game he was.
I thought he did. I thought he did build one.
No,
you're right. You're right. He did not.
Yeah, he just went straight for a lot of a lot of cannons, which he didn't do this time. Which
looks
might
like he got a Widow Mine drop coming in here for Miro. I like this. After the Widow Mine buff, I really like Widow Mine drops against mineral lines.
Yeah, maybe a little too. Oh, whoa! Mothership core taken down.
Ouch!
That is
very nice. And those Widow Mines completely interdicting that mineral line for now. Of course, the cannons are going to go up.
Still, that is about as successful, Widow Mine drop as you could hope.
That's a hell of a lot of lost mining time. Of course, he did move most of the probes to the natural, but the natural is now oversaturated.
Get shot off.
Some good hits by those Widow Mines. But once those cannons finish, they are going to clean those up.
Still, as I said, not bad.
Not bad at all. Miro, as we've seen in the past, remaining extremely active with his production. Colawlsus, not so much. Now, of course, Colawlsus did lose a lot of mining time there. Lost a lot of minerals, at least in Potentia.
Miro still has his medvac, which is always great. See what he decides to do with this. Colawlsus is very slow in production.
Yeah.
Good initial
He's
mineral.
building a lot of pylons. Okay, he's saving up for those double upgrades. But not making much in the way of army right now. His total army is 3 zealots, 3 sentries, and a stalker at the moment. Which at 10 minutes is... But on the other hand, Miro is not punishing him for this. He's just continuing to macro up, getting those infantry upgrades, the stim pack, combat shield, concussive shells, and the +1 armor.
The thing is, I think with Colawlsus' strategy, Miro could probably do a lot more damage with very early aggression.
Yeah.
I mean, I know last game Colawlsus went completely insane turtling, and it really wouldn't have been all that effective, and wasn't. But
right.
Miro had some good scouting. He should know enough at this point to know that
Miro with a full medevac of Marines coming down here.
Good. Love to see a little bit more in the way of. Say a bit more in the way of Widow Mines, especially since he seems to be attacking the main,
Agreed.
which is now.
Very much agreed. That was an extremely effective Widow Mine drop. Do you think you'd perhaps look to be cleaning up those cannons with this?
That is possible.
In preparation for another Widow Mine drop? Doesn't look like it. He's landing on the outskirts there.
I don't hate this.
Saves most of his Marines. He did land just outside of photon overcharge range.
Lands again, does a little bit more
trying to look
damage.
to put some damage on there.
Takes out a pylon, which is not a bad way to go.
Not at all. I like this drop style much more than what we've seen from Miro in the last game, where he basically left his drop forces there to be cleaned up. But Miro's just doing a hit and run, much more hit and run style, keeping his army in being and still a threat.
Colawlsus moves his mothership core out into an odd position. Not sure what he was having to accomplish there. I guess keep an eye out for more drops.
Yeah, sort of keeping an eye out, see if Miro pulls that medevac back or continues to keep it there for a potential mother
Miro,
drop.
With a decent-sized army moving out across, gets spotted by the stalker. So
Miro drops his scan down, sees that there is no third up for Colawlsus.
Yep. Colawlsus throwing down as many zealots as he can. Plenty of sentries.
Researching storm, and he's got 2-2 on the way. As is Miro. Miro about to finish 2-2, in fact.
And has concussive shells. This could be really good against this mass zealot force.
Yeah.
The High Templars just come in, but
Yeah,
they do
Miro
not have
Miro
storm
could
yet.
really make this work. Gonna start sniping down that wall.
Good
Cleans
control.
up one gateway. Very nice control from Miro.
Yeah, these concussive shells versus nothing but zealots is not going to work for Colawlsus.
Yep. Takes down
And-
all 3 walling gateways. Some good stutter step. Is he going to be able to get the Nexus?
Right there, but ooh,
Some
still without
decent
the
force
storms.
fields, but I think he could have done more with those.
The thing is, if the storms were up, those would have been lethal force fields.
Right, absolutely. As it is, no. Colawlsus, his defending force is going to get
melting.
entirely cleaned up. Well, okay, not entirely cleaned up, but that was some major damage.
Yeah, and with Miro effectively establishing his third, though not really saturating it, he is in a wonderful position. Colawlsus can't afford to move out anytime soon.
Miro with a walled-off third, no less. He's got a wall of supply depots up there.
Yeah, he has very strong map control, and honestly, despite Colawlsus's unbelievable production last game, he does not have the forces necessary to really
Miro coming in
pull
with
in.
another drop back into the main. This could hurt.
Colawlsus throwing up his third. But I think Miro might be able to see that.
Miro gonna get snipes off on these gateways.
Yep, and that's not good for Colawlsus. Colawlsus really needs as much production as he can get for his
he
strategy
really
to work.
does. Well
Miro
done
seeming
by
to figure
Miro.
it out.
Pulls out that medevac just in time.
Yep. Forces the cancel
Snipes
on
the
the
third.
Colawlsus throws down
Colawlsus
3 more gateways.
continually throwing down gateways that Miro just picks off.
I think the downside of this rematch
Miro
is
kills the
that
Nexus.
Colawlsus' strategy has been found out.
I really like this position for Miro. Some good defense against those storms as well. Good, pulls back in time, saves his Marauders and a couple of his Marines.
Yep. And again, the thing is, Colawlsus is very reliant on gateway units. The more of these gateways Miro can deny, the less chance Colawlsus has to really, get his death ball rolling.
Right. Miro coming again into the back of the main with another drop.
Yeah. I like it. Focusing down gateways. Colawlsus trying to counter it with Zealots, but Zealots aren't going to stop these drops.
Yeah. I'm really surprised we're not seeing more Stalkers being warped in to counter those drops. Big storms by Colawlsus, but
Colawlsus
not
throws
big
it
enough. Hallucinated Colawlsus. I don't think Miro was fooled. And Colawlsus taps out. GG.
GG. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about a turnaround.
No kidding. Miro just able to keep the pressure on, able to keep his drop forces intact. I think that was key.
I think you might be right there.
Well played by both gentlemen there, and so we will go to a third game.
Jeez. All right, let's see how this all wraps up.
All right. We will see you shortly.